Hi class! This video is meant to help you research material for an upcoming research assignment and help you determine if the research you found is credible and thus useful for your research assignment. To begin, I'd like to start by discussing what I mean by credible source. A credible source will likely have 5 components. The first is accuracy. An accurate source will be correct, factual, and timely. It may be hard to determine if a source is correct, especially if the source is about an emotional or controversial issue. However, if the source contains facts, that is a good indication that the source may contain correct material. An easy item to check is timeliness. You want source material to be current. If you are writing on a current social topic, a good rule of thumb is a source should not be more than 2 years old. However, if you are writing about something from history, you may want to be open to older source material, but remember, new research can come about even the oldest of topics. The second is relevancy. Relevancy can be looked at 2 ways. First, is the source relevant to your thesis statement? Does it fit within the argument or point you are trying to make? Second, is the entire source relevant or just a small part of the source? If the source is mostly about a topic not relevant to your thesis, this may not be the strongest source for your use for your paper. The third is reliability. Is the source written by an expert in the field? Has the source been peer-reviewed by other experts in the field? Ask yourself these questions as you evaluate the source. Attempt to select source material that is not biased, but rather approached from a scholarly and educated point of view. The fourth is clarity. Is the source easy for you to understand, or is it full of jargon and difficult terms that would be hard for you or your audience members to explain and understand? Ideally, you want sources that go beyond jargon and can explain to an average person the topic at hand. Finally, you want to determine if the source is thorough. By this, I mean, is the source an excerpt from a whole piece, or is it an entire article, chapter, or section about the topic? Are there multiple pieces of information you could use from this source, or just a singular quote? The most credible of sources will have lots of information that may help you with your research. For the purpose of this video, we will discuss 2 ways to research. The first is a web search. This would entail using a browser like Google, Yahoo, or Bing. For research for a paper assignment, I recommend using Google Scholar. Google Scholar will help you weed out unreliable source material and we will look for sources on edu and org.org websites. We will also try and conduct the same research on the library website. The library owns licenses to dozens of scholarly journals, which may also be helpful to you. The library is almost completely digital. This means by logging in, you can access these materials from the comfort of your own home, and it is almost as easy to complete research using the library as it is to do a web search. For the web search, I'm going to begin by using Google Scholar. To get to Google Scholar, I type in scholar.google.com. I'm going to start my search by looking for animal patenting. I'm going to leave articles checked and click search. After executing this search, I am shown a number of articles pertaining to this topic. The first few sources are .org and .edu websites. I know that Harvard, note this first article, was awarded the first animal patent. I may want to look more closely at the article. I also know that Harvard is a research university and a reputable organization. One concern I note is that the most recent article seems to be from 2002. I may want to see if there are more recent articles available. If I go back to the search screen and click on the Advanced Scholar search, I would be able to enter a date range for which I want articles published from. Here I'll enter 2010 to 2012. And again, I'm looking for animal patenting. I can execute my search, and you'll see that my results now are in a different order based on the relevant dates. Once I select some of these articles to review, I would then want to check and see how reliable the author appears to be, if the article is clear, and if the article is thorough. For the library search, I'm going to go to Germana's homepage and then navigate to the library from the Students button. Library can be found on the far right. On the right, you'll notice a bunch of search options, but for our purposes, I'm going to go to the databases A through Z. Should you want to learn more about the other options or the library catalog, feel free to explore these on your own or visit one of the campus libraries for assistance. There are also tutorial videos available on the library website. Under databases A through Z, I'm going to search for the SIRS database, which of course will be found under S. SIRS is just one of the many databases you could try searching, and I am only using it as one example of your many options. Because I am using the library resources off campus, I have been asked to log in. You will also be able to log in just like I am from home, and the login that you'll use is the same login that you use to log into Blackboard. This takes us right into the database. Once in, I'm going to select the Advanced Search tab at the top. For this exercise, I'm going to try a proximity search. I'm going to search for the word animal and the word patenting within 5 words of one another in the full text of the article. I click search and I get 47 results. Again, immediately I note that some results are older, 1989, 1992, 2002. To reorder the sources by date, I go to Sort Results By and select Date. I click on Sort. This reorders the sources from most recent to least recent. By doing this, the first material I now see is from 2011. However, always remember you still need to evaluate sources to see if the author is reliable, if the article is clear, and if the article or source is thorough. In this case, when I select this timeline, I can probably determine that this is not thorough enough for me to use as a source, but it may be helpful in educating me so that I can find stronger source material for my paper. Notice also, in this database, if I click on a possible article of interest, I can scroll down to the bottom and find the citation information that I need for citing this source on my citation page in my paper. As a final note, always remember to record citation information for any source you intend to use in your paper. For detailed information on what source citation and information you will need, you'll want to visit the OWL at Purdue website. By Googling OWL at Purdue MLA, I'll come right up to the MLA Formatting and Style Guide. Here I can click on all different types of helpful information on all the different aspects of using MLA Works Cited entries in my paper and at the end of my paper as a bibliography or works cited page. Thank you all for reviewing this video, and please, as always, never hesitate to contact me with questions.